WVVA in Focus, a weekly program about important issues and events in the two Virginias.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this edition of In Focus. This morning, we're talking about HopeWords Writers Conference. Really exciting. It's coming to the Granada Theater later this month, Friday, March 24th, Saturday, March 25th. We're expecting folks from all over the country and also Canada, and there's going to be international people listening in on this conference. I'm really excited to welcome our guest this morning. We have Nicole Thompson, a familiar face here at WVVA. She's with BARC, Bluefield Arts and Revitalization Corporation. Nicole, it's always great to see you here.
Thank you very much.
We have Marie Blackwell, the City of Bluefield Ambassador. Marie, it's great to see you.
Thanks, Mel, for having me.
Absolutely. And Travis Lowe, we've had you here on In Focus before. Travis, you're with the Writers Conference, so I'm thrilled to talk to each of you about this conference here in Bluefield. So Travis, I'll start with you. This has been going on for a couple years now. Let's give the background to our viewers about the Writers Conference.
Yeah, so we actually started, this will be the 5th year, and we just started as something small. We wanted to help people just tell their story. So one of the things that I've always said is I don't always like the way people tell our story in this area. And so I said, let's equip people to tell their own story and encourage them to be able to tell stories of, you know, maybe they include brokenness, but tell stories of hope. And that was kind of the focus. And it's really just seemed to have hit a nerve, and it's attracting people from really all around the world.
Right, exactly, and thus the name HopeWords. So it's really expanded in the past 5 years. So tell me about that and where we are today in 2023 with getting the word out about it. Yeah,
so this year we've just seen more interest, more excitement about it than we've ever seen before. So every year it's kind of built on itself. We've been able to kind of grow what we're able to offer, and last year we hosted it at the Granada for the first time, and that just brought a huge lift to the entire conference, having it in that incredible space. And then just the ability with having so many people come to reach out to any of the authors that we can think of and just bring in incredible people to our community. So it's just really exciting.
Great, and I can't wait to talk to you about some of those guest speakers and authors too. Nicole, let's talk about the importance of having this event right at the Granada. As Travis was saying, 2nd year it's happening here.
Yeah, well, it's really a great event for us, and actually I want to give kudos to Travis because it's such a well-organized event, and we're just thrilled to have it, and just the opportunity to have that many people come in from all different areas of the country and experience the Granada Theater, and just, you know, I always say it's such an experience just to walk in there and see that place. And I think it holds a candle certainly to anywhere that they might be coming from. So, you know, we're just always excited to have this event. It's really great.
Yeah, and Marie, this is a big deal to have folks from all over the U.S. and outside the U.S. coming to Bluefield. So let's talk about what that means.
Oh, it's huge, Mel. The city of Bluefield is so excited that they are coming here, and we are so excited and can't wait to welcome each and every one of them. It's huge.
And Travis, how many different states are these folks coming from?
I think the last count we have folks coming to Bluefield from 36 states and a couple different provinces of Canada.
Oh, that's incredible. And then, as I mentioned at the beginning of the segment, folks can also listen in on the conference, and those are international folks, so how does that work?
Yeah, we offer the conference fully online. So at the website, which is HopeWordsConference.com, you can choose in person or online. If you choose online, we stream everything. We have a great company that comes in and offers just tremendous video work. So you get to be a part of the entire conference, see everybody. And if you can't watch live, we also make those videos available for 3 months after the conference.
Oh, perfect. And like I said, this is coming up on the 24th and the 25th, so coming up this month. Let's talk about the agenda for folks who are attending, Travis. What can they expect Friday and Saturday?
On Friday night, we always do a lot of, we have a lot of music. So Vince Lewis is going to have a trio there for a couple hours before the event starts. Then we have the keynote address with Dr. Miroslav Volf, who he's a professor of theology at Yale, started the Yale Center of Faith and Culture. He's written some incredible books. His most famous is Exclusion and Embrace, which they say is one of the most important theological books of the last 100 years. He's just an incredible guy. He teaches a class for several years on faith and culture, faith and society, with Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister of England. So he'll be speaking on Friday night, and then after that, Chosen Road will be playing. So we have bluegrass and jazz, which I think is a great picture of Bluefield.
Yeah, for sure.
And then all day Saturday, we have lots of different speakers throughout the day, and then kind of a social event at the Arts Center that night.
Okay. And again, Nicole, let's just talk about the importance of just having the folks come here and see the historic Granada, and it's about the Writers Conference, but seeing what life is like here too in southern West Virginia.
Absolutely, and as I always say, you know, we're so lucky that this group of community people came together and saved this theater, because really, otherwise it would just be another deteriorating building. And certainly, the fact that they, you know, someone planted a seed and put a group of people together, and they went for it all the way and did it, and not just to open it, but to they spared no attention to detail.
Right.
I mean, it's very beautiful in there. So we're very excited and happy. And like you said, I'm thrilled to have Vince Lewis there, and Chosen Road will be there. And this is a great event all the way around.
Right, because the Granada isn't just about movies. There's other events going on there too.
Yes,
which is great.
exactly.
And Marie, I understand that these folks will be getting a tour of the area, including Bramwell.
Yes, actually Friday afternoon, I'll be taking 87 of our guests on the trolley and 3 other transit buses. And we will be doing a little bit downtown, and then we'll go to Bramwell. We'll also do give them a view of Mitchell and Bowen Field and the park, and then we'll end up on the overlook for a photo op. And so, I mean, it's gonna be great fun, and they'll get a little taste of the area.
Yeah, speaking of taste, they might want to stop by the Corner Shop, which is being featured on America's Best Restaurants, by the way, if you haven't heard. So, that's fantastic.
And they will be.
Yeah, everybody on the tour gets a milkshake from the Corner Shop.
Really?
A little milkshake.
Oh, how fun.
I want to come on the tour.
I was going to say, come on, Nicole, let's join them. Might just come and get a milkshake and hang out with people.
Yeah.
How cool.
It's going to be so cool.
Oh,
It's great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Travis, I know tickets sold out fairly quickly for this event, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, and I wanted to let people know, local folks, that I've held a few tickets back just for local people. So if you go on, it says that it's sold out, but you can join the wait list. And if you join the wait list, if you really want to come, if I see a local address on there, I'll do my best to get you into the event.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, well, that's really good to know. We have much more to talk about. We do have to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Good morning once again, everyone. Welcome back to this edition of In Focus. This morning we're talking about HopeWords, a writers conference. It's coming up on Friday the 24th of March and Saturday the 25th here in Bluefield, West Virginia at the historic Granada Theater. Joining me once again, Nicole Thompson, Marie Blackwell, Travis Lowe. Again, I want to thank all of you for being here and sharing information about this fun conference.
Absolutely.
So, Travis, we were just talking about tickets a little bit ago and how local folks could be on the wait list. Who exactly is this conference catered to? What is the demographic? Who are you targeting with this conference?
Yeah, we call it a writers conference, but we found it's very different than most writers conferences. So we don't really focus on the business side of writing. There's not publishers there to pitch to and editors to talk to. It's more just about the beauty of words, the love of words, the power of words. And so we bring in people that love words. So I have a lot of people that come that are professional writers from all across the country. I've been blown away with the, just seeing some of the jobs that the people do that are coming in, but also just folks that just love to read, folks that just enjoy words, enjoy thinking, and so it's a really broad spectrum of folks that come.
And Marie, since this has been happening for now going on 5 years, why do you think it is important to have a conference just like this here in Bluefield?
Well, I think it's just something that is really good for the area, and have all these different people come in, these speakers that can see the area, and the Granada Theater. I mean, that's the perfect venue for something like this. So it's just exciting.
It really is. And Nicole, as we mentioned earlier, this is the second year it's happening at the Granada. What was some of the feedback you heard from people who attended after the first time having it at the Granada?
Oh, everybody came there and really loved the event. And as Travis was mentioning, I had a great time too, meeting all the people that came from all over the place and hearing about their stories and just chatting with people who were there. And it was just a really warm, wonderful atmosphere. And I know it will be that way again this year. I just think there was a lot of camaraderie and I guess just happiness. I mean, people were just happy to be there, and I think that's the focus of the conference itself. As you're saying, you know, people are celebrating the joy of words and the meaning of words, and I think that's so important in our society right now, is to really learn about that and take it to heart, you know. And so I think this conference is really important for that reason.
Right.
Yeah, and we are an art community, and writing, and that is a form of art.
Exactly.
So this is just the perfect place to have it.
Right, a positive event, inspirational, great networking opportunity. And Travis, what kind of feedback have you gotten, and how have you used that to grow and evolve this conference over the past couple years or so?
Well, the wild thing, when I first heard that people were coming from far away, you think, you know, it's not always easy to get here, you know, just trying to figure out logistics.
True.
But the comments I get over and over again is it being in Bluefield is one of the things that they love most about the conference.
Fantastic.
So some people talk about the journey here, just being part of it, and they love driving through the mountains, and they love a chance to just, you know, it's kind of a craft style type conference, and that's really popular right now. People aren't looking to go to something with 10,000 people and you're just a number.
Right.
But here there's, you know, this year we'll have 300, 350 people in attendance, and you'll be sitting in the audience with the authors. You'll be eating lunch with the authors and getting a chance to have an experience that you wouldn't have anywhere else. So that's really, Bluefield is a huge part of the draw.
Yeah. And how do you go about securing those authors? How do you do that every year and find those folks to come and talk here?
Yeah, a lot of it's just been just like blind emails, you know, reaching out. And I joke that a lot of it's been kind of selfish, though. I love to read, and I just invite people that I enjoy their writing. And then other people pay for tickets, and I get to hang out with, you know, my favorite authors. So it works out really well for me.
It's your bucket list, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Well, one of the authors is from Bluefield, Dr. Lewis Brogdon.
Yes.
So he'll be coming.
We always try to highlight local authors. This year we have Dr. Brogdon, who is runs the Center for Black Church Studies at Bluefield, at the Baptist Seminary of Kentucky. His book, Companion on Philemon, has really become just standard textbook in a lot of seminaries across the country. We also have S.D. Smith, who is he writes like middle grade fiction from Beckley, and he's tremendously successful. Just super popular author all around the world. It's amazing what he's done from Beckley. And Hannah Anderson is from Roanoke, and she'll be here as well. So about half of our authors all live within about an hour of Bluefield. So
that's fantastic to have that local showcase as well. And Marie and Nicole, you can jump in here, but this also helps with local tourism, right?
Yes,
So let's talk about that.
Yes, because all of the people that are coming will be staying in our lodging properties, and they'll be spending money here. They'll be, you know, and that boosts the tourism in our area.
Yeah.
Exactly. You never know if they might come back too after visiting.
And that is our hope, that, you know, they'll come back and spend more time in the artsy communities and enjoy some of the authentic food and spirits, and, you know, just spend more time back here. And yeah, it's great.
And in addition to my role at BARC, I'm also on the board of the CVB here. So it's certainly, thank you for the opportunity to comment about that, because as Travis was saying, it's certainly one of the most beautiful areas of our country here. So as people get to drive in and see the beautiful scenery, and then they land here in Bluefield, and they get hosted by the city, and of course here at the Granada, and we're just so happy and pleased to be able to showcase this area to people who maybe have not been here before.
Exactly. And then Travis, how have things changed over the years since the first year it started to now? How has it evolved with the conference and the agenda?
Yeah, well, really the biggest thing was moving downtown last year. So one thing that we do is in the middle part of Saturday, we take a 2-hour lunch break, and the city runs the trolley, and everybody eats downtown, and the House of Art is open, and the museum is open, and people ride around and they get a visit. They get some time to hang out, to just walk the streets, and man, that's just added so much. The people have, the first year people would come in, kind of get here Friday evening and leave right after it was over on Saturday, and now it's turned into more of a 3 or 4 day event for the folks that come into town. And I think it's going to be really great them getting to see Bramwell this year, and just seeing some of the other things that are around. But they love just walking downtown, and I think that's been the biggest lift to the conference, is having it so attached to the city of Bluefield.
Right, exactly. And then you also mentioned the music aspect too. So why do you think it's important to have that entertainment as well for those guests?
Well, one of the things that I love about it is that it's all local musicians, and I tell everybody when they come, like, you're going to meet a lot of my friends. And so we're just kind of hosting on it's. They say that it's very laid back, the entire conference, but it's just kind of like I'm just inviting people into my home, and here are my friends, and we're hanging out, and you're going to have a good time.
Right, and I can imagine that it takes a lot of planning to put this event together. So I'll definitely ask you about that coming up. We have to take one more quick break. We'll be right back after this. Good morning once again, everyone. Welcome back to this edition of In Focus. This morning we've been talking about HopeWords Writers Conference. It's coming into its 5th year. It's happening at the historic Granada Theater, coming up on Friday the 24th of March, Saturday the 25th. So exciting to share some more information with you about it. So Travis, as I mentioned before we went to break, it seems like it would take a lot of work to put this event together. So, I mean, how far in advance do you start planning, and do people start asking you and trying to book tickets?
Well, I already have a lot of the speakers booked for next year, so more than a year in advance. We always announce at least our keynote speaker will announce this year and go ahead and put tickets on sale at the conference. So if you're at the conference or you attend online, you get the first chance to buy tickets, and we usually do that at a little bit of a reduced rate. So we normally sell a ton of tickets at the event for the event the next year.
Great, and I can imagine that you have a lot of folks coming back year after year, so let's talk about those repeat guests.
Yeah, we have, I've got a handful of folks from Texas that have came for like 4 years in a row that I can think of. A couple of folks from California that come every year. And they say it's just kind of became a part of their year that they look forward to, and they make the trip.
So let's talk about looking ahead in the next couple years for the conference. How do you imagine this growing or changing looking ahead 2 to 5 years from now, say?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out kind of the best size. So we're playing around a little bit with what feels the best in the theater. When you're sitting there all day, you don't want it to be like completely packed.
Right.
So we're trying to do that. But really the cooperation with the city this year has just went to a whole nother level. And I couldn't brag enough on Marie, on Cecil, the city manager. They've just jumped in and said, anything we can do. So it's really opened up a lot of possibilities. They've mentioned some things that they would like to do, and we were too close to the conference this time to pull it off. So we've got some ideas that would, kind of work around that, telling the story of the community, highlighting the tourism opportunities.
Well, that's a good point. And Marie, like he mentioned, working with the city of Bluefield. So how have you been able to help, and also Cecil Marson, the city manager, to make this happen?
Well, we've gotten the ideas from Travis, and we worked out the schedule, and we just went with it, and everything fell into place. And everybody that I have contacted have been so on board with it. They're so excited about it. I can't thank our transit, Bluefield Area Transit, enough for providing the buses and the trolley that we need to get the people around. And like I said, once Travis and we talked about the ideas, we just went with it and everything fell into place. And we are so excited.
Right, and it does take, multiple groups to make this happen, including Nicole, BARC, and you mentioned you're with the CVB. So let's talk about just how it does take multiple groups to make this event come together, including your role.
Oh, sure, certainly a team effort. I mean, we certainly love to come together. As I said earlier, supporting each other is so important. And it's really needed to pull off an event like this. And really, we couldn't do it any other way. So we're so happy that this event it's a great event for us at the Granada, but also there'll be a Saturday night reception at the Bluefield Arts Center. So both of our venues get featured in this event, and so that's wonderful, and we're very blessed.
Well, yeah. Exactly, and this is just a great event to have here. And Travis, let's go back to the start of how this all came together. So, was it your idea, multiple people just coming together and saying, "Hey, we need a writers' conference here in Bluefield"?
Yeah, it was funny. I had a person invite me to a writers' conference in California, and in my mind, that was just unreachable. Like there was no way I was going to be able to go.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, maybe we could just do our own. And I'd never even been to a writers' conference. So really me and Robbie Gaines, who was another pastor in the community, we started it up just out of nothing. And that first year, when it was over, to just feel like, wow, that really was something. And, to see how it's really turned into, something that people seek after. It's really a premier event in this space.
Yeah, no, it really is. And Murray, you were mentioning about this community being really like artsy, and I think that you're absolutely right, whether it be, painted art or the written word. Let's talk more about how this conference can put the highlight on this community being artsy.
Oh my goodness, with the speakers and that Travis is having, and it's just gonna, and the Granada, it's just gonna showcase everything. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, some of the other speakers, I think it, important to kind of highlight one thing that the city, the Granada, is doing. Katherine Paterson is going to be one of our speakers this year. She wrote Bridge to Terabithia. Jacob, Thou Have Loved is one of her books. So many great books. She's a National Book Award winner. She was declared a living legend by the Library of Congress.
I could believe that.
Yeah, so I mean, she's amazing. I think Saturday night y'all are planning on showing the Bridge to Terabithia movie for anybody in town. The author will be, in town that weekend. She wrote that book. My understanding was for her son who had lost a friend when he was really young, and she wrote this book about grief. The movie that they'll be showing was actually directed by her son. When he grew up and became a director, producer of lots of different stuff, but he produced the movie that his mom wrote to him as a book, which is incredible.
Well, that's a big deal to have her here, because I read that book in 7th grade, and I remember just crying as a 12, 13-year-old girl, but I love that book, and that was like, part of, I'm sure, a lot of middle school or high school people's English classes, but that's a big deal to have her here.
Yeah, it's tremendous, and she's such an incredible person. Her story is amazing, so we're going to be highlighting her a lot throughout the event. We also have Ann Voskamp, who's coming, and Ann is a New York Times bestseller. She's had multiple books on the bestsellers list. She's sold millions of copies. We have Dr. Esau McCauley, who a couple years ago wrote Reading While Black, which was a tremendous hit. He's an opinion writer for the New York Times. He teaches at Wheaton, and I believe I think that's all of the authors that we have. So I mean, it's just an amazing lineup of folks that are coming here.
And also another way for the arts, for them to view the arts, and that is to go to Gary Bowling's House of Art and the One Thin Dime Museum.
Yes.
I mean, they have a little taste of all different types of art at this conference. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it's incredible because it's not every day that you have all these writers in one spot either.
Right.
To meet them, to talk to them, to pick their brain and hear about, some advice that they could give you. This is incredible. This is a big deal for Bluefield. It really is.
Absolutely, yes.
It is. Absolutely.
Well, we have just a little bit of time left, but I'd like to get concluding thoughts from each of you for our viewers this morning. Nicole, I'll start with you.
Sure. Well, we already present concerts and movies and theatrical shows, so this is really a great another arm of the arts, as you guys were saying. Like, it's nice to be able to feature our authors and have it be about literature.
Exactly.
It's just a different aspect of arts that we can present at the Granada, and in addition to what we're already doing there.
Exactly. And we have about a minute left, a little under. Marie, concluding thoughts.
I just think that Bluefield is such a wonderful place for people to come and visit and live. And I believe that this conference just, Bluefield is so excited to have this conference here.
Yes, and folks can see it for themselves. Travis?
Yes.
I'm just excited to show off our beautiful city.
Yeah, this is a fantastic event, so I'm thrilled that we were able to talk about it this morning, share some information with our viewers, and like Travis said, there's some waitlist tickets available, and let's share that website one more time for folks, Travis.
Yeah, it's HopeWordsConference.com.
Perfect. All right, well, that does it for this edition of In Focus. We hope you all have a fantastic day. Remember, if you ever have an idea for me for an In Focus segment, you can send me an email. That's mzosh, Z-O-S-H, @WVVA.com. Send me an email, say that you have an idea for In Focus, and we'll be in touch. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.